Namaste students. So chapter 13 database concepts, relational algebra and data warehouse. So last class we studied about generalization, specialization and some concepts under keys etc. So what do you mean by generalization? Actually generalization means that uses bottom up approach and specialization uses top down approach. It's already studied in last class. And aggregation is a process when relation between two entity is treated as single entity. So what do you mean by keys? Keys is a context of relational database design. They are used to establish the identity relation between tables. Here we studied about candidate key, primary key, alternate key, super key and foreign key. So these are some key attributes. Candidate key means a key in any set of one or more columns whose combined values are unique among all the occurrences, that is candidate key. So what do you mean by primary key? Primary key is a candidate key that is most appropriate become the main key of table primary key. Next one is primary key. Primary key is a key that uniquely identify each record in a table. For example, if you are using student information database, then student ID is the primary key. In case if you are using employee database, then employee ID. In case bank account, then we can say bank account transfer certificate ID, etc. These are all primary key attributes. So what do you mean by alternate key? Alternate key in any table are simply those candidate keys which are not currently selected as a primary key. So such key attributes are called as alternate key. That means which are not currently selected as primary key. Next, what do you mean by super key? See, super key means actually it's a set of columns, two or more attributes which no two rows share the same values for those sets. Okay, these are about super key. Next, foreign key. So what do you mean by foreign key? A foreign key is a field in a relational table that matches the primary key column of another table. That means that particular key attribute or that particular attribute, it is treated as the primary key in some other table. So such table or such key attribute is called as foreign key. So next we studied about relational algebra. Actually relational algebra is formal description of how a relational database operates, or we can say it's an interface to the data stored in the database itself, or we can say it's a mathematics which underpin SQL operations, etc. So next we studied about terminology, operators, and in that operators write retrieval operations are there, and there are two types of operations that we can say. One is mathematical set theory based and special database operations. So mathematical set theory based, we studied about select operation, project operation, and select and project combined operations, etc. So select operation is used to obtain a subset, or we can say it is to get the subset of the relation, give the given relation, and that satisfy a select command. For example, it's already given in last class. So that is select date of birth of some person. That means to list all the students those who scored more than 90% marks, we can give select, or we can use select operation. Next, project operation is used to select a subset of the attributes of a relation by specifying the names of the required attributes. That means sometime if you want to specify, if you want to get the particular columns, names of particular columns, for example student information database is there, in that database or in that table many columns are there, but you are going to select only two columns. So in that situation we need project operation. Project operation, that is to get the subset. Project operation is used to get the subset in a given relation. So it's also given in last class. And then one is next one is set operations like union, which combines two relations, and then intersection, that gives the common elements or common tuples in both the sets. And then difference, in this case, in difference, it will display all the elements of first set except the elements which are common in the both sets, so that is difference. Okay, it's also given in last class. Next one is cross product, or we can say Cartesian product. It's also given. It's also called as cross join. Next, join operation, and here we need some common elements to perform the join operation. Next, natural join is there. Natural join, that means we need some, it's also called as equijoin, and here we need some attributes which should have the same values compared to two sets, that is to perform the natural join. Next one is outer join. See, in this case, in outer join, three forms are there. One is left outer join, right outer join, and full outer join. So what do you mean by left outer join? It actually here keep data from the left hand table, that is left outer join, and right outer join means which keeps data from the right hand table, and full outer join which keeps the data or elements of both tables. It is outer join, full outer join. It's already given, and some symbolic notations are also explained here. That is select, and then project, etc., and product, join, etc. So these are about some symbolic notations given in last class. And next one is rename operator. It is also explained. The rename operator, it uses rename operator, x like symbol. It's also explained in last class. And equivalence, here also some equivalence, some operations are there. The same relational algebraic expression can be written in many different ways. And A cross B not equal to B cross A, and all those things explained in last class. And A minus B is not same as B minus A. Okay, these are about some concepts that we studied in the last class. And today we are going to explain about some differences between relational algebra and SQL. We know that SQL is one of the application program which is to what we can say operate database SQL, and relational algebra it's completely based on the mathematical theories, and SQL it is based on the relational algebra, but sometimes it follows the relational algebra, but most of the time it uses some commands. So these are about relational algebra, and some comparison between relational algebra and SQL. And relational algebra, it is closed. The result of every expression is a relation. It is closed, and the relation, result of every expression is a relation. And next, it has a rigorous foundation because of set theory and all those things, and has simple semantics, and used for reasoning and query one optimization. Simple semantics. Semantics means is some sort of what we can say context. And here under SQL, it is a superset of relational algebra. Has convenient formatting features, etc. And here SQL provides aggregate functions. Aggregate function means there are some inbuilt functions in SQL, and we can make use of that one. So each and every time no need to write all those lengthy programs. So just we can use aggregate functions, or we can say built-in functions. And next point is SQL has complicated semantics, complicated context or semantics, and SQL is an end-user language. End-user language means actually most of the time SQL is not useful to the system administrator or network administrator or database administrator. Those who are actually which are not required to the, SQL language is not required to the database administrator. Actually it is the end product, it is given to the end user only. And next, under relational algebra, any relational language as powerful as relational algebra is called relationally complete. It is called as relationally complete. A relationally complete language can perform all basic meaningful operations on relations. Basic meaningful operations on relations. So what do you mean by SQL? Under this one, SQL is a superset of relational algebra, and it is also relationally complete. Relationally complete. So both are relationally complete, relational algebra and SQL. And next concept is data warehouse. It's very important for your examination also. Data warehouse. Actually, it's a collection of data. Data warehouse is a process of constructing and using a data warehouse. So what do you mean by data warehouse? Actually, a data warehouse is a repository of an organization's electronically stored data. Or we can say a data warehouse is constructed by integrating data from multiple heterogeneous sources. Heterogeneous means different types of sources that support analytical reporting and structured and or ad hoc queries and decision making. And here also decision making and ad hoc queries and structured and analytical reporting also there. So it is data warehouse. Next, data warehousing involves data cleaning, data integration and data consolidation. So, or we can say in our simple language, we can say data categorization, data organization and data collection are all those things which includes data warehouse. A data warehouse is a repository of an organization's electronically stored data. The concept of data warehouse was introduced in late 1980s. That was introduced in late 1980s. So next one is data warehouse are designed to facilitate reporting and supporting data analysis. See, data warehouse are designed to facilitate reporting and supporting data analysis. Data analysis means, see, the word analysis means thing is, so you have to divide the given data into smaller pieces and then you are going to what we can say check the each and every pieces, and such concept, and that concept is called as data analysis. Actually, what do you mean by data warehouse? It's already explained, and data warehouse have evolved through several fundamental stages like here offline operational databases, offline data warehouse, real-time data warehouse, integrated data warehouse. See, it's also given that, see, offline operational databases means in this actually it is the initial stage developed by simply copying the database of an operational system to an offline server. So data collection can be offline. No need to switch on the computer or data warehouse system. Just we can collect data in offline. So that is offline operational database. Next, offline data warehouse. Data warehouses in this stage of evolution are updated on regular time cycles. So we can say daily, weekly, monthly from operational systems, and the data is stored in integrated reporting oriented data structure. That is offline data warehouse. So what do you mean by real-time data warehouse? Actually, data warehouses are updated on transaction or event basis. Event time, an operational system performs a transaction. See, we know that real-time system means it requires a small event to activate the particular operation. So that is real-time data warehouse. See, whenever you're going to execute an operation, and if that particular operation, if it encounters particular event, then automatically a real-time data warehouse that will be activated. So that is real-time warehouse. Next one is integrated data warehouse. See, actually it is used, data warehouses are used to generate activity or transactions that are passed back into the operational systems for use in daily activity of the organization. Actually, these are all things given in your textbook. So integrated data warehouse means actually which gets the collective information or analysis report from the system. So that is the integrated data warehouse. Okay, these are about how data warehouse have evolved through several fundamental stages. Next, components of data warehouse. So components of data warehouse, which includes data sources. Actually, data sources means in various source we can collect data, data transformation, next reporting the data, metadata, operations, etc. Okay, these are about components of data warehouse. See here, first one is data sources. Data sources refer to any electronic repository of information that contain data of interest for management use or analytics. See, most of the time, data warehouse or data can be collected from the mainframe computers like IBM DB2, next Adabus, etc. Next, client server databases like we can collect it from the Oracle database. Next, DBase, Informix, Microsoft SQL Server, etc. PC databases like Microsoft Access and spreadsheets and other electronic store of data. Data needs to be passed from these two systems to the data warehouse either on transaction by transaction basis for real-time data warehouses or on a regular cycle like daily, weekly, monthly, etc. for offline data warehouses. Okay, from these sources are used to collect the data to give such data to the data warehouse. So data transformation, actually which receives data from the data sources, and that will be organized, cleaned and standardized, categorized, and that will be that is to be loaded into the data repository. That data repository means a storage. It's nothing but storage, and this particular stage or this particular step is called as staging. This particular step is called staging. Next one is reporting. Next stage is reporting. The data in data warehouse must be available to the organization's staff if the data warehouse is to be useful. There are very large number of applications that perform this operation. Some basic some are business intelligence tools, executive information systems, offline analytical processing tools, data mining, etc. Okay, these are about reporting. Next one is metadata. So what do you mean by metadata? So far we know that in the previous sessions in our database management concept system, metadata means which gives some explanation about the data. So what are the data that you are going to give us systems? And one thing is we should provide the information about the data also. Not only data, information about data. That means data about data is called as metadata. So it's very important to provide the metadata information to the data warehouse. Next one is last component is operations. Last component is operations. So data warehouses operations comprises of process of loading, manipulating, extracting data from the data warehouse. That means most of the time in our local or in our general context we can see operations means input and processing and almost all the things that should be categorized, organized, and whenever we need that it should be able to extract the information from that particular data warehouse. So such information or tools provided by the data warehouse, it's called operations. Then some optional components are there. Actually, in addition to the following components also exist in some data warehouses. So that is first one is dependent data marts, logical data marts, operational data store, etc. Next concept is advantages of data warehouses. So what are the advantages of data warehouses? Actually, as we know, data warehouses means it's a repository of an organization's electronically stored data. So some advantages are, first one is which enhance end user access to reports and analysis of information. Enhance end user access to reports. So end user can access the report and analysis of information. That particular user can analyze the information. And one more thing is data increases data consistency, which increases data consistency. That means here we are providing metadata. Metadata means data about data. So that's why we can get the type of data also, which increases data consistency. And third point is which increases productivity, increases productivity and decreases the computing costs. So most of the time, no need to write the special queries. So we can use the same queries again and again, and which increases the productivity. And it is which is not time consuming, which saves the time. So these are all the advantages of data warehouse. And fourth point is which are able to combine data from the different sources in one place. So we can combine data. For example, suppose if you are going to access the information of particular student's name. Actually, student name includes three fields like first name, middle name and last name. So we can combine such data into a single field. That means that indicates this particular fourth point, that is able to combine data from different sources in one place. And fifth one is data warehouses provide an infrastructure that could support changes to data and replication of the changed data back into the operational system. So data warehouse provide an infrastructure that could support changes. So we can make changes to the data, and replication, that means duplicate copy of the changed data back into the operational system. So changed data can be copied or we can transfer that one to the operational system. So these are all main advantages of data warehouse. It's one of the important questions. You can expect this question for the final exam also. So what are the advantages of data warehouse? And some other questions like components of data warehouse is also important, and some disadvantages also there. So disadvantages of data warehouses: extracting, cleaning and loading data could be time consuming, so it will take more time. And data warehouses can get outdated relatively quickly, so we need to what we can say improve data warehouse each and every step. Otherwise otherwise what happens is that will be outdated, so we have to update each and every time. It may be weekly, daily or monthly basis. Problems with the compatibility with systems already in place. So compatibility also. So compatibility means in case if you are using different operating system, our data warehouse that should compatible with all the operating systems. So the problems with the compatibility is one of the major threat to the data warehouse. Next point is providing training to end users, and security could develop into serious issue, especially if data warehouse is when accessible. So providing training to end users. So data warehouse that should provide training to the end users, how to use that one, how to follow the security policies, and all those things should be explained by the data warehouse itself. And it is very serious issue, and especially if data warehouse is when accessible. So when it is accessible only. Next point is a data warehouse is usually not static, so that is dynamic obviously, and maintenance costs are high. So that should be updated each and every time. So that's why we can say its maintenance costs are high. Okay, these are disadvantages of data warehouse. And next concept is about data mining. Data mining. So what do you mean by data mining? So data mining is concerned with the analysis and picking out relevant information. That means getting the information from the repository system. So that is data mining. So in case if you want to get some particular information from the data warehouse, and data mining is a term that is used to get the information from the relevant information from the data warehouse, that is called as data mining. So data mining, it is different from the data warehouse. Data warehouse means it's a repository electronically stored data, but data mining is concerned with picking out relevant information from the data warehouse. In simple words, data mining is defined as a process used to extract usable data from the large set of any raw data, just like a data warehouse. It is the computer which is responsible for finding the patterns by identifying the underlying rules or features in the database. Some of the data mining softwares are SPSS, SAS, Think Analytics, and GSAT, etc. See, some of the data mining softwares are SPSS, SAS, Think Analytics, and GSAT, etc. It's very important. You can expect this question. So mention some data mining softwares which are usable in present days. So it's very important: SPSS, SAS, Think Analytics, and GSAT. So you can expect this question for 1 mark. And next concept is stages of data mining. Here also, first thing is selection, pre-processing, transformation, interpretation, and evaluation are the stages of data mining. Say, selection, pre-processing, transformation, interpretation, and evaluation are the stages of data mining. Here first one is selection, selecting or segmenting the data according to some criteria. That means whenever you're going to access the data, so far we know that data mining means picking some data or information from the set of raw data, or we can say data warehouse. So thing is selection, that means selecting or segmenting the data according to some criteria. Next, pre-processing. This is the data cleaning stage where certain information is removed, which deemed unnecessary and may slow down queries. So unnecessary data can be removed from that particular information, and this is the data cleaning stage, data pre-processing, where certain information is removed. So that is pre-processing. So before processing, as we know, pre-processing means before processing. So we need to remove some unnecessary data or unnecessary information. In case if you have such information in your data, so what happens is it may slow down the queries. So that's why pre-processing stage is very important. Next, transformation. The data is not merely transferred but transformed. So transfer, and it is different from the transformed. So transformation is very important in the stages of data mining. Next one is data interpretation and evaluation. The patterns identified by the system are interpreted into knowledge which can be used to support human decision making. And it is very important. The data is made usable and navigable. This stage is concerned with the extraction of patterns from the data. A pattern can be defined as given a set of facts F, a language L, and some measure of certainty C. A pattern is a statement yes in L that describes relationships among a subset F of F. Okay, these are explained or given in your textbook, also in your study material also it is given, all those things. So it's not so important. So stages of data mining is important. So 4 stages: selection, pre-processing, and transformation, and last one is interpretation. It is very important. And let us just go through some questions here. It is given in your textbook regarding to your syllabus. So Here such some questions like so what do you mean by data mining? So data mining, it is given that it is picking up some information from the set of raw data. It's very important. And some other questions. Uh, so what do you mean by data abstraction? Sorry, data warehouse. It's also important thing. And comparison between relational algebra and SQL. It's also important. Next to some stages or evaluation of data warehouse. Actually, there are some four stages: offline operational database, offline data warehouse, real-time data warehouse, integrated data warehouses. It's very important, and the components of data warehouse is also important. And here components which includes data sources, data transformation, reporting, metadata, operations, and some optional components are also there. And advantages and disadvantages of data warehouse is also important concept, and these are about database concepts. This year you have to study about this one. It's very important chapter, database concepts. And in this case 5 marks questions also there, 4 marks, 3 marks questions, 1 mark questions also there. Okay, that's it for today's class, and we'll see you in next session.